Despite the pandemic's impact on the worldwide recording industry, releases and especially albums from South Korea saw no decline in quantity or quality. These music products transported us to places we miss the most. From the theater to the jazz bar to the island vacation that now lives only in our memories or imaginations. According to the Gaon album chart, some best albums released in 2020 are Map of the Soul 7, School Love Affair Special Edition and B by BTS, Hangare and Semicolon by 17, NCT Resonance Part 1 and NCT Resonance Part 2 by NCT, The Album by Blackpink, Delight by Baekhyun, Neozone by NCT 127. This year, some upcoming albums that very likely leave people in awe will probably be these following ones. Number 1. The First Step, Treasure Effect. Treasure may be one of the luckiest groups of YG for having the first full-length album after roughly a year of debut. They also seem to have started 2021 on a bright note with a big release right after their previous comeback. Via Twitter, YG informed that Treasure were going to drop their very first full-length album, The First Step, Treasure Effect, on January 11, 2021 at 6 p.m. KST. Along with the announcement, YG also posted a poster serving as a first teaser to the slew of content building up to the release. On March 1, 2021, the company revealed the tracklist for The First Step, Treasure Effect. Though it consisted of 12 tracks, 2 of them will be exclusively included in the physical LP only, I Love You piano version and rock version. The other 10 were My Treasure, Be With Me, Slow Motion, Boy, Come To Me, I Love You, Bling Like This, Orange, and Going Crazy. Maybe YG did this with a view to boosting Treasure's sales of the physical album, but to be honest, by looking at the past selling copies of their past albums, it doesn't seem so necessary to do so. At the end of the day, as long as YG doesn't inform things at the last minute like what JYP did to GOT7, fans will still be able to prepare the money to support their idols. As the last piece of their The First Step series, Treasure Effect will bring a different vibe than the previous albums. With the hope to bring light to people's life amid the lasting pandemic, Treasure released 12 tracks containing an array of stories that express hope, strength, and happiness. As Yadam said in the press conference held on January 11th, rather than showing off their swag and boldness with this last piece, they opted for injecting the warm comfort and support to everyone. Though each song will tell a different story, they all lean to one ultimate goal, delivering joy and hope under the theme of "We are glittering and precious like jewels." This also explained why the album's title track, My Treasure, brought out a bright and positive vibe, implicitly encouraging fans to embrace the person who they really are. Number 2. iBurn, G-Idol. In K-pop, G-Idol is one of the groups that managed to always bring new things to the table in each of their comebacks. For the latest mini-album iBurn released on January 11th, G-Idol released 6 songs: Han, Alone in Winter, Hwa, Moon, Where Is Love, and Lost in Dahlia. For this EP, G-Idol has done an excellent job in choosing Hwa as the title track because, usually, this will be either the most or second most favorite track in people's playlists. iBurn, the album was obviously super cohesive in terms of genres, tempos, and vibe. Here, all songs have similar melodramatic verses and an intense build-up, leading to an explosive, energetic chorus. Moreover, contrast is also a bright selling point for this album because all 6 tracks are gloomy, melancholic, yet put up against a dynamic mid-tempo beat. Overall, iBurn was assessed to be the next successful album of G-Idol that managed to show another color of them. Compared to their previous mini-albums, this seems to bear a huge similarity with I Trust and Oh My God in terms of the mysterious, God-related theme. After 3 promotions with this ethereal, spiritual, yet groovy theme, maybe G-Idol is planning to stamp their mark on this concept. This is indeed a good sign because during their first 2 mini-albums, their girl crush and Latino images were somewhat influenced by public taste. Though this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but still, since they've added a whole new flavor to the table, the K-pop industry is way more colorful. Number 3. Epik High is here, Epik High. After the departure from YGE, Epik High remained their reputation as a quality band producing songs with adept meanings and explosive creativity. On January 18th this year, fans of Epik High have received the 10th full-length album with 10 emotional tracks: Lesson 0, Rosario, Based on a True Story, Acceptance Speech, Laika, In Self-Defense, True Crime, Social Distance 16, End of the World, and Wish You Were Here. Out of these 10 songs, 3 were picked out to be made into MVs and portray the album's spirit: Lesson Zero, Rosario, and Based on a True Story. As described in the group's latest documentary, Lesson Zero is about how to unlearn things in an era full of the new normal. Rosario was written with the hope that the outsiders, those who feel unappreciated, can feel for a moment like a living legend. And Based on a True Story is a song telling you how you may sometimes feel others' stories are actually yours. Since Epik High's year marked an important milestone in Epik High's career, besides the sadness and darkness embodied in some successful albums that the group was known for, Pieces, Part 1, and Remapping the Human Soul, they also knitted some sort of celebrating messages between the storylines. With the soothing melodies and the collaboration with many famous artists, CL, Zico, Bai, Hyzy, G-Soul, and many more, Epik High is predicted to gain some salient achievements with this LP. Number 4. Undying Love. Very Good. Nearly a year and a half after the release of Fantastic, Very Good gets back to the K-pop scene with the 4th mini-album Undying Love on January 19, 2021. Different from most groups, Very Good's mini-album is indeed a mini one when consisting of only 4 tracks, one of which was the instrumental of the title one. Yet the quality of them is assessed to be quite good because the title track, Time For Me, was a song full of 80s dance spirit co-produced by Tushar Apte, the one who composed for BTS's Home and Blackpink's Love to Hate Me. Besides, there was also Asio, a song released last year, and a pop ballad with an oddly long title, Laughing for a Day or Two and Crying for 3 or 4 days. Though some may think that this is a fun song with a constant mood swing, it was actually a sad song that you may imagine hearing in some sad scenes of a K-drama. Similar to the previous albums, Very Good still mainly pursues the bright and cute concept for this album. Being one of the most underrated groups in K-pop, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that many could recognize the full potential of the group. Number 5. Cherry Bullet, Cherry Rush. After 2 years active in the industry, Cherry Bullet finally released their first mini-album, Cherry Rush, on January 20th, 2021. In this EP, the group released 5 songs: Love So Sweet, Follow Me, Keep Your Head Up, Whatever, and Ting a Ring Ring. Similar to I-Burn of G-Idol, Cherry Rush is a very cohesive album in terms of the theme, concept, instruments, and vocalization. Besides the positive vibe ejected from the colorful and visually stunning title track, Love So Sweet, you could easily see the same vibe when listening to the sweet harmonization and bubblegum rhythm taking over the other 4 songs. Amid the gloomy atmosphere of the pandemic, the album has really freshened up the air by including tracks with EDM, strong vocalization, and fast flow that really makes you feel just like having a shot of adrenaline. Overall, with such a youthful album, there are high chances that Cherry Bullet will successfully shoot right at the top position of famous music charts. Number 6. Lucky Man, iKON's Bobby. Rising from the famous rap show Show Me the Money, iKON's Bobby has been working non-stop to build a solid reputation as a rapper of iKON and more especially, a soloist. On the last January 25th, Bobby returned as a solo artist with a phenomenally tight-structured and sonically diverse LP. After over 3 years since his first LP in 2017, Bobby didn't disappoint fans with an LP of 17 tracks full of versatility, maturity, and a narrative wholly engrossing in its layout. According to Bobby, You Mad was unexpectedly picked out to be the title track, where he launched straight into the aggressive, abrasive side of his personality, criticizing those who are obsessed with materialism and opportunism. Alas, Bobby shared that Lucky Man was an advanced version of his previous LP, Love and Fall. Since he intended to express both the joy and sorrows that people can feel during their 20s, this album includes a broader spectrum of strong and soft sides compared to his previous album. With Love and Fall ranked second on the Billboard US World Album and more than 40,000 units sold around the world, considering Lucky Man as an upgraded version of the first LP, Bobby is very likely to reap remarkable achievements this time. Number 7. Dystopia, Road to Utopia, Dreamcatcher. Recently, on January 26th, Dreamcatcher returned with a 6th mini-album entitled Dystopia, Road to Utopia. Included in the EP were 7 tracks: Intro, Odd Eye, Wind Blows, Poison Love, For Memory, New Days, and Odd Eye instrumental. Overall, Dystopia Road to Utopia was a diversified album with tracks ranging from classic rock, EDM, to pure dance, acoustic, and sweet melodies. Still, the spirit of the album was most vividly portrayed through the title track, Odd Eye, an implicit representation of the EP's advancing worldview. Different from the last comeback EDM-driven song, Odd Eye serves as a revisiting of the classic rock sound. Besides, it's also much more guitar-centric, and each member's vocals also shown distinctly on this title. Similar to the previous Salient albums, Along in the City, The End of Nightmare, Raid of Dream, and Dystopia, Lose Myself, Dystopia Road to Utopia still emits that same dark and ethereal vibe. Yet, with a new message underlying in the album, the strong will to find one's true utopia, Dreamcatcher managed to beat personal sales records with more than 60,000 sales following the release. Number 8. I'm Not Cool, Hyuna. Ever since the last album Hyuna released under Cube Entertainment in 2017, it seems like forever since we can hear another album is being released by the female idol. Still, here we are with I'm Not Cool, the first ever EP Hyuna dropped under P Nation. Though the album was set to release at the end of 2020, due to Hyuna's health issues, it was put off until earlier this year. Of the 5 songs included in the album, one of them was the old track that Hyuna released in 2020, Flower Shower. 2 were just normal tracks, namely Show Window and Party Love Feel. To make this comeback extra special for fans, she went on making MVs for both I'm Not Cool, the title track, and Good Girl. Viewing the album as neutrally as possible, I'm Not Cool isn't really breaking any particularly new ground for Hyuna, but it doesn't have to. She was so ahead of the game in her earlier years that now the industry has begun to catch up to her. Compared to some of her successful albums, Bubble Pop, A+, and Color Me Red, where Hyuna slayed real hard with sexy concepts, in the latest EP, she seemed to have completely turned over a new leaf. Besides the rebellious, bratty, and self-centered concept, Hyuna shared with Yonhap News that she put in lots of personal stories dating back to 2 and 3 years ago. She also pursued a sing-talking and instrument-centered style that she has rarely taken seriously in her previous title tracks. Number 9. Querencia, Chungha. Querencia is the first full album of Chungha after around 4 years active as a solo artist. Though MNH Entertainment and 88 Rising, the management companies of Chungha, initially set the album to be released on January 4th, 2021, it was delayed to February 15th after Chungha tested positive for COVID-19 on December 7th, 2020. According to Chungha, Querencia references a source of strength and a place where you can be your authentic self. Through all the songs in the album, Chungha hoped that her fans could draw strengths and find comfort in their own skin. This album is an entire world of musical influences, effortlessly fusing pop powerhouse vocals with elements of house music, Afrobeat, reggaeton, grime, and more. Querencia is divided into 4 chapters based on the themes of noble, savage, unknown, and pleasures. The contrasting sonics of each section shows all the facets of Chungha's artistry and scope, while retaining the most important through line, her incredible voice. For the upcoming LP, Chungha's fans must be the happiest on earth, because they would receive an album with a whopping amount of 21 melodies. The first full album of Chungha will also be supported by the main single Bicycle and 3 pre-releases, Stay Tonight, Play, and X. Of the 3 mentioned songs, the first 2 managed to reach the top 10 and 20 hits on the Gaon digital chart. Chungha also released 2 B-side tracks, Bad Boy and Dream of You, with 2 foreign artists, Christopher and Rehab. Looking at the track list, I bet you can already see how devoted Chungha is, because the 21 songs will be divided into 4 stages, or sides as called by Chungha, namely Noble for side A, Savage for side B, Unknown for side C, and Pleasure for side D. As curiosity is embedded in human nature, of course, the majority of you guys will find side C the most attractive for its unknown trait. Yet there lies one track that literally turned the internet upside down. Demente, the song Chungha collaborated with Guyana, a famous Puerto Rican artist whose most famous hit is Rebota, a song that gained more than 400 million views on YouTube and 100 million streams on Spotify. Up the internet. Following the news, the Puerto Rican singer showed his excitement for the release along with Chungha by reposting Chungha's publication through social networks, raising expectations by saying that this is a spectacular song. Ever since Chungha left IOI, she has already had 4 mini-albums, Hands on Me, Offset, Blooming Blue, and Flourishing. Yet only 2 of them were highly appreciated by the public. Put the other 2 on the scale with Querencia, and it's easy to see that the upcoming album is a combination of colors that Chungha showed in her previous ones: young, ready to love, and empowered. It also serves to cement Chungha's image, the image of an HBIC, as she moves forward in her career. FYI, HBIC, or head bitch in charge, is the one who possesses unquestioned authority and gets what she wants whenever she wants it. Number 10. Alpha, CL. Since CL's departure from YG, Alpha is the first ever physical album of hers. Though the album was originally set to release on November 30th, she postponed it to early 2021 so that she could have more time perfecting all the songs. As CL described in her interview with Billboard, Alpha embraces her status as an outlier of the international pop scene. With hooky pop R&B hybrids, avant-garde electronic touches, and distorted, speaker-busting hip-hop that stand apart from the glossy acts, for which she helped pave the way. She also added that this album will be very different from the previous successful digital album, In the Name of Love, since 2020 was a year of rebirth and rewriting to her. Of the 3 songs predicted to be in Alpha, CL has already released 2 singles, Whoa and 5 Star, which garnered high acclaim. Whereas the singer published the music video for 5 Star, featuring DPR Lan on YouTube only, she performed Whoa for the first time in October 2020 at The Late Late Show with James Corden. So, are you planning on buying any of these albums after watching this video? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because more intriguing videos are waiting for you ahead. Thank you for watching.